Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Color Me Badland, back to share a small portion of my old school designer fragrance collection. I have a few pieces out of that collection that I wanted to come on and share from you from our oldie but goodie designer by the name of Fred Haymon. So if you are interested in finding out what fragrances I pulled from my oldie but goodie collection, please continue to watch. Well, welcome to my channel and welcome back. If you've seen any of our other recordings or videos or my other recordings and videos, we are super glad to have you. If you're not familiar with who I am and what we do over here in Color Me Bad Nation, we talk all things beauty. Hashtag all things beauty. We talk about fragrances in my collection, those on my wish list, those in your collection and wish list if you care to share. We talk about makeup, no makeup, hair, real and not, love, relationship, romance, family issues, and faith, most importantly. And if I forgot to mention anything, we'll talk about that as well. I just wanted to kind of give you a brief share on what we talk about over here. Please feel free, if you have any questions, down in the comments below. Feel free to send me any questions to my email address. And then also I have Instagram. So if you want to meet me over on Instagram, I will be happy to meet your acquaintance over there as well. So let's get into it. I have some fragrances that I love. I love designer fragrances, especially old school fragrances. A lot of them work really well, you know, and a lot of fragrances you love, you know, 20-30 years ago. If you've been around that long, you probably still love them. You probably try to keep them in your collection, or they just create really good memories and nostalgia, right? So there are a few fragrances out of this particular company or design house that I absolutely adore and love. Some of them I've been playing around with to find out whether or not I like them, whether or not I'm just going to go ahead and give them away because they're just sitting and collecting dust. And I'm also going to share one of my favorites from this particular design house. If you're not familiar with Fred Haymon, you know, back in the 80s, probably early 90s, a really hot and popular design label of fragrances. And one of them is my all-time favorite out of this particular collection. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to share these fragrances in any particular order, but I may give you a little bit of a heads up on which one is my absolute favorite. So the first one that I want to share with you guys is Hollywood Star Fred Haymon for women. And of course, any fragrance, you can always wear the fragrances, no matter whether they're for a man or woman. You can wear them. If you enjoy the scent, enjoy yourself. Now I have to be careful with this one because for some reason the bottom of my stand is loose, as you can see, and so it kind of slides up a little bit. And so I try not to play too much with this one because I don't want to break it. But I am going to spray a little bit of this one on while I talk a little bit about this particular fragrance. This is actually a flanker of the original Hollywood by Fred Haymon, and we're going to talk about that one as well. I think that I pulled that one too to kind of share with you what's in this particular fragrance. Now, this fragrance would take a real particular taste in fragrances to like, because when you first spray out on this fragrance, it is extremely loud. I try to compare certain fragrances with others to say, okay, if you like this fragrance, you'll probably like that fragrance. But that's kind of hard to say because it just depends on your body chemistry, your particular taste, and things of that nature. But I will share with you that this fragrance's main accords are citrus. If you like citrus, it also is extremely powdery. It has a yellow floral note in it. It has rose in it. It's got amber. It's a musky scent. So if you like a fragrance that you can kind of wear all year round, this is something that you could definitely wear all year round. It is a white floral. It has a little bit of pink and red florals in it. It's a little bit sweet and it's animalic. And I think that's the reason why I really kind of kept this fragrance all these years, is because it is an animalic fragrance. When you first spray this out, you're probably going to say to yourself, I'm not going to be able to do this fragrance. But this turns into something really, really beautiful. I didn't care for this fragrance a long time ago. I always thought that this had like a dated smell to it. And for a lot of younger women, it probably will have that dated scent to you. But if you like a really nice, and I mean really, really nice, strong and potent, old school vintage vibed floral scent that's heavy on the rose, very powdery, it's really, really musky and extremely animalic, this may be something that you want to add to your collection. If you get this one and you don't like it, don't fuss at me. It's not that expensive nowadays. So if you're a fragrance collector or you like to kind of buy and play around with fragrances, it's not going to hurt your pocketbook and you won't cry about it if you don't like it. I'm sure somebody in your circle, your family, a neighbor, somebody will like it, or you can use it for an air freshener. But this one is my first one out of my Fred Haymon collection that I wanted to share with you guys. This one is Hollywood Star. So if you like a little rose, really, really vintage scent. But it's something about this that I really enjoy. I can't tell you what it is, but I like it. Alright, so next up on our list is a fragrance that I don't know if I like this fragrance, but it's something, again, I can't get rid of it. I've always been fascinated by this particular scent, and I don't know why. I just am. It is Hollywood by Fred Haymon. Okay, and this is an oldie but goodie. I can't remember like which one of my family members, aunts or somebody had this. I know my mom never wore this, but this is just a fragrance, and they've changed the bottle on this, I think. But I was always intrigued by this perfume. It doesn't have a weird smell to it, but it's different, and I don't know, but it's something about this fragrance I like. I don't know if it's the peach note or what's in here that I like, but when you're a kid, you don't know what you like about something. You just like it, right? It just gives you good vibes. You like the scent of it. You're trying to find out how you can get you a little bit of it, right? And like I said, I like the bottle. And it's, in my opinion, the bottle used to be a little bit different than this. But nonetheless, I still like this fragrance. It's just it is something about this that I like. And I've been using a really pretty peach glistening oil and lotion from Victoria's Secret lately, and so any of my fragrances that are heavily noted with peach, I've been kind of playing around with them. But it is something about this perfume that I like, and when it gets just a little bit softer, when it calms down a little bit, it turns into something like that vintage, sexy old lady frag type of scent. And I'll put like a new age body oil with it, and it turns into something really, really seductive. This is Hollywood by Fred Haymon. This is a floral aldehyde fragrance for women. You'll hear me talk about aldehydic fragrances, animalic fragrances, balsamic fragrances. Those types of fragrances work extremely well for me. So you'll always hear me mention fragrances that I share with you, and normally they will be one of those. Okay, every now and then I'll get something that's the opposite of that, like a Chevre floral fragrance or something like that. Anyhow, Hollywood was launched back in 1988, so this has been around a long time. I heard somebody mention something about when they first started singing or something, and they were like 1988. And so that's when this was launched. Okay, your top notes of this particular note: it has aldehydes, it has peach, mandarin orange, and green leaves. It's something about this I like. I don't know what it is, but I do. Your middle notes, or what I love to call your heart notes, have tuberose, mimosa, ylang ylang. It's got jasmine in it. It's got your rose in it. I love rose fragrances. I love me some peach. Like I told you before, most of my fragrances, I have a lot of fragrances with jasmine in them, and some of them I can't wear anymore. So I kind of set them to the side, but this isn't one of them. I can still rock this. It is so good to me, you guys. Your base notes have gardenia in them. That is another floral that I absolutely adore. It has amber in it. It has civet, which is the extract from a musk extract from an actual animal. I don't know if it's a real extract or synthetic, but I love a musk note in my fragrances. It has sandalwood and more musk. So it's definitely something that kind of, this turns into something really, really good to me. You really cannot overspray this. I've been around people who've worn this. Like, that's what I remember. Like, the people that I smelled this on maybe wore too much of it, and so it was just too much fragrance on. But this smells so good, you guys. I kid you not. I really love this fragrance. Again, this is one of those that if you get it and you go, oh, not today, don't come for color me. I like this fragrance. Again, this is Hollywood by Fred Haymon. Sexy old lady frag. Okay, so this next fragrance, did you like that like freeze? I tried to do a freeze frame, it didn't work, did it? I don't know. But the next fragrance that we're going to talk about from Fred Haymon is a fragrance called Touch with Love for Women. So let's get into it. I don't know if you guys are enjoying these fragrances. Do you have any of these in your particular collection? Let me know. I want to know if you have any of these and if you enjoy any of these. Old school fragrances, you guys. I love them. This one was launched back in 2003, I believe. Yeah, I think so. And anytime I see something with love on it, I always want it. I just, I told you I got in trouble when I was a little kid for drawing hearts on paper all the time. I remember my dad when I was a little girl asking me who was I in love with. I just like hearts, okay? Okay, so this is Touch with Love for Women. So this is one of those that kind of took, like, I don't know about this, but I just can't give it away. I keep holding on to this one. This one was launched again back in 2003. I was expecting this to smell like pink. You know how pink fragrances normally give you like a certain vibe, a certain scent. It turns into something kind of fruity and berry. And because they don't tell you what notes are in here, it's really confusing because you think that this fragrance is kind of cool, but it's actually a warm, spicy fragrance. It has amber in it. It's woody. It's really green and musky. But there's some sweetness to this. And I really can't capture where it's coming from. It's almost got like a little bit of a cinnamon type of nutmeggy type of note to it. And if you let this fragrance die down, give it maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes on me, this turns into something really sexy. I don't know. And what really baffles me about this, it lasts a long time. You can't find the notes on it exactly, but I'm going to keep searching. But I don't know what's in this. I don't. It just lets us know it's warm, spicy, it's musky, it's green, it's woody. This turns into something so sexy on me, you guys. So you can find this, I know for sure, like on Amazon and eBay and places like that. If you get your hands on this one and you just like to play around with fragrances, see what you come up with, because this is so sexy. Touch with Love by Fred Haymon. This is really, really sexy, you guys. I'm going to have to add this to my bedtime sexy scents. That man said you don't need a reason to lie. Telling you right now, what kind of man would he be? Then he asked her, what kind of girl would you be? Don't play with it. All right, next fragrance on the list. This one is 273 red. So this is a flanker for the 273. You know, I'm a fan of the original, and so when I saw this, I thought, you know, the pump on this is not all that great, but I had to find out what this was gonna smell like. I mean, like, the pump is terrible on this, but I just kept it. I don't spray out on it that much. But this smells like there's a flanker of beDtiMe called Wicked, and this is Wicked's twin, I promise you. And I don't know, but eventually either I'm going to either get rid of this one or the beDtiMe flanker, because both of them smell exactly the same, to the point where when I first sprayed out on it, I was like, I got something that smells exactly like that. And if you collect fragrances, I'm sure you have had those moments, and they are like the walk of shame. It's like, but now I will share with you, the only difference in this one is for some reason, this smells better. Like it smells like better quality to me. No shade on beDtiMe, because I love beDtiMe fragrances as well, especially the higher end beDtiMe fragrances. But this one smells, in my opinion, good. So this has a male scent to it, you guys, and the men's version of this smells even better than this. Okay, again, this is 273. This is the flanker to the 273 by Fred Haymon. The main, of course, of this fragrance, it has white floral in it. This is good. It's powdery. It has vanilla. It's citrus. It's sweet. It's fruity. It has amber. It's aromatic, and it has a little bit of a musk component to this. Some may say, well, we're moving in this with springtime and then summertime, so this would be a fragrance that most people would think to wear in cooler weather. Well, we're still having cooler weather. In some areas of the country, it's still freezing cold. And so we're not out of the woods yet, and so you can still wear fragrances like this. And I happen to wear fragrances like this in warmer weather because they work really well for me. This is definitely a vanilla fragrance that I can rock with. You can really play around with this fragrance, is what I like about this. And you can wear some really nice scents with this underneath layering and on top, and really give a dynamic boost to this fragrance. It doesn't need any help, but if you want to kind of pull on some of those notes and components that are in the fragrance, like say for instance, you have a really pretty lemon oil, or you have a really beautiful vanilla oil, or if you have a really pretty sweet fruity oil, or a really nice white musk oil. Like I have a really nice white musk oil that I got from probably a beauty supply, and that oil smells absolutely amazing with fragrances in my collection that have that white musk note in them. Really nice. Gives it a really smooth, polished scent to it, and you would be surprised. Real nice fragrance. I really like this one. And again, I added this because I love the original 273 so much, but this is nice. And they also have a little bit of a soft spiciness to this. They don't mention it, but something is giving me that vibe, and I don't know if it's the vanilla and the amber and the muskiness of it all, but this is really nice. It's got just enough fruit in it, but it's still really adult, really soft, really sexy, very nice fragrance. You get this fragrance about 5 minutes. Peace be unto you. Alright, so we are down to our last fragrance that I wanted to share with you guys on today's recording. I hope you're enjoying the scents that I've shared with you thus far. I did intentionally save the best for last, but it's kind of like it kind of happened that way. So let's get right to her. This is one of the sexiest fragrances, old school fragrances, you guys. You'll be able to tell by the juice missing. how much I adore this fragrance. Like I've got one of these on my cart ready for me to send for another one, because this smells so good on me. I love this fragrance so much. And I will tell you something, that it took me a long time to actually wear this scent. And this winter, I just went crazy with this one. As you can see, she's almost a goner. And I'm a really heavy sprayer. And so it didn't take much for me to go through this fragrance. This is 273 by Fred Haymon for women. Of course, anyone who wants to wear this fragrance absolutely can. When I say this is one of my favorite fragrances, you guys, I wore this one day, and when I tell, and I'm not bragging or anything like that, I'm keeping it real. That's what we do over here at Color Me Bad Nation. I got so many compliments on this fragrance, you guys. It is such a beautiful fragrance to this day. And this has been around for years. I can't remember who used to wear this fragrance, but I remember the scent as a young girl. And I just always love the smell of this fragrance. It is such a good fragrance. This is 273 Rodeo Drive, Fred Haymon for women. Anyone can wear this that wants to. Trust me, this is some good juice, you all. If you don't have this and you love a fragrance that is a white floral, that's fruity, that's woody, it's sweet, it's got tuberose, it's powdery, it's got yellow floral, it's animalic, it's lactonic, it's warm, spicy. This thing is banging, baby. Trust me. I don't know what it is about me with fragrances and peach lately, but let me tell you something. And I mean, if you love, this is a, when I say a sexy peach, apricot, jasmine, tuberose, gardenia. It's got plum, ylang ylang in this thing. It's got orris root. It's got spices in it. I don't know what the spices are. It doesn't even matter. I'm sure they showed me a picture of them. I don't even know. It's got sandalwood, amber, vetiver, cedar. It's in the category of an amber floral. Okay. It's just gorgeous. Like I said, this is on my cart to send for another one. I try to spread them out a little bit. You know, when I have to re-up on fragrances that are like extremely affordable. But I still have it in my collection. I got two that I need to re-up on. And let me tell you something. It's worth every dime. And this is not really expensive. No one will ever know it. If you love fragrances like Amarige by Givenchy, you will love this. This is in that category. You know, if you love Amarige, if you love, I'm trying to think of Organza. If you love fragrances like that, which those are two of my favorite Givenchy fragrances, I'm telling you right now, get your nose on it. And you can find this for such an affordable price. Trust me. Especially like on Amazon. Grab this up if you like those types of fragrances. Now, most people would say this is only for wintertime. I wear fragrances like this all year round. Especially with, I've been playing around with a really pretty peach body cream and oil lately. So this is going to get plenty of play. I cannot wait to send off. I try to wait. Like I said, I try to wait and I try to be good now, and when I need to re-up on something that I really love and I don't want to run out of, I kind of wait, because I always have a fragrance on my list that I don't have that I send for here, here and there. I try to, shoot them out. This is thebomb.com from way back in 1989 and to this day. I'm telling you guys, they say this perfume bring the boys to the yard. We're not trying to bring no boys to the yard. This fragrance right here will bring your king to the court. Trust me when I tell you, if you don't have this fragrance in your collection and you love a gorgeous amber floral fragrance, sexy, seductive, daytime, late night, hot date, bedtime fragrance, on the money, extremely affordable, super sexy. Red light alert. Be careful, ladies. I'm telling you right now, this will get you impregnated. Be careful. This is your girl, Color Me Bad Lynn, saying thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate all of your love and your support. I really appreciate that. You guys have been rocking with me for a long time, and I really appreciate that. Make sure you shout out down in the comments and let me know whether or not you like any of those fragrances, if you've ever heard of any of those fragrances, if you enjoy them, if you dislike them, whatever. It's all good if you remember them from back in the day, from your mom's vanity, your grandmother's vanity, your great cousin, your great uncle, aunt, anybody. Let me know. I will be happy to hear from you. If you have any fragrance suggestions for me along the lines of those fragrances that I shared with you guys today, you think I might not have it in my collection, share it with me. I might not have it. I don't have all the fragrances. That's why I'm on here talking with you. I want to know what's in your collection too. So chat it up with me. Make sure you hit that like button if you like this video. And make sure if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, hit that subscription button. I would also love to meet you over on Instagram. My Instagram tag is @colormebad_Lynn. I think that's right. I'll get back at you. We'll see you on the next video. God bless you guys. Peace.